And to give us an historical context for Native women in leadership, please join me in welcoming fellow trustee Brenda Child, who will discuss the historical framework for our program today. Ms. Child, who is Red Lake Ojibwe, is a professor of American Studies and former chair of the Department of American Indian Studies at the University of Minnesota. She is also a published author. Her first book, Boarding School Seasons, American Indian Families, 1900 to 1940, won the North American Indian Prose Award. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Brenda Child.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Brenda, for those really important words, and thanks to Deborah too for the song. My plan this morning is to relate a couple of stories about women's empowerment, women's freedom, or what we often refer to as sovereignty, in a historical way. I'm a historian. The first involves a fisher woman from northern Minnesota. The second is about a performance tradition, very popular among American Indian women today, the jingle dress dance, though I would like to try to explain its early 20th century origins. As I talk today, I want to send a big thank you to Ivy Vineo, a Grand Portage Ojibwe photographer from northern Minnesota, who allowed me to use some of her contemporary powwow pictures in my presentation. So I'll have a few historical images and end up with some contemporary pictures. But this is actually a photograph I took myself on my phone last summer, traveling with some friends up on, I'm from Red Lake in northern Minnesota, way up on the Canadian border. And this is a photograph from the Canadian border. It's an area that I always think is interesting, not just because of its beautiful landscape, but it's a region where there are many different borders and political boundaries. When you go up to the northwest angle, part of it is the Red Lake Indian Reservation, part of it is you're on roads that are Manitoba, you have to formally cross over into Canada to get there. And then when you go out fishing on the water, you're in Ontario and you need an Ontario fishing license. So it's kind of a complicated place. But this was taken in July, and you can see that light green stripe is wild rice ripening. So that's so kind of transport yourself to the border of the US and Canada. And I'm going to start out with a letter. Writing in the spring of 1939, an Ojibwe man named Max Jones sent a courteous letter to the superintendent of the Red Lake Indian Reservation about his mother, Naynaabeak. The Jones family lived